the sixth installment in the Child's Play series, Curse of Chucky. Now this, I want to say it's essentially taking place after number three, um, depending on what you find out later and how you interpret it later in the movie. But yeah, essentially takes place after number three. Chucky's sent to this woman's house who's paralyzed from the waist down, and her and something happens, and there's guests that come over, and of course Chucky wreaks havoc, like he always does. So I don't know to who those of you who may have seen my previous Chucky related videos, but I have the doll himself, and he's my little buddy, has been since sophomore year. But otherwise, I've been watching him since I was a little kid. I loved the first Child's Play movie and just thought it was cool and unique. Like me being a little kid, I was allowed to watch like kids movies. This is a lot of movies, and I'm still a cinema head today. So being able to watch this killer doll was something else. It was like Toy Story gone bad. So, but yeah, I like all the movies. I own every single one. But 1, 2, and 4 are my favorites, especially number 4 because it's like the most badass. And my least favorites are 3 and 5. But with this, for a while they're trying to get a remake on, but that didn't work out. And then when I heard of Curse of Chucky, first when I heard of the plot, I thought, well, as much as I like Chucky, I mean him, you know, like this with the wheelchair character, I was afraid that'd be a little boring, but I was dead wrong. I was glad I was proven wrong. And every single Chucky movie has been written by Don Mancini, and he's directed number 5 and 6. I'm so glad he directed this one. He's the perfect person to helm a Chucky film since he, you know, again started it basically. So, but yeah, Fiona Dorff, Brad Dourif's daughter is in this. Chucky, I mean that's the thing. Like, first there's the look to Chucky, but it's all about the voice. And Brad Dourif, there's nobody more perfect. If they're to ever remake it, they better get somebody who does a good spin. But otherwise, we're so happy to have Brad Dourif. He kills it like in that role for the voice. But yeah, so seeing this again, like I was, you know, I liked this movie. I enjoyed it. It is going straight to video, but Chucky fans don't like lose your hopes or anything. To me, this movie is a treat to the Chucky fans, especially if they're the ones that dug a little more the horror and a little bit of the comedy elements. Because the like. His dialogue, like what Chucky says, and the funny stuff that mostly came in number 2. But yeah, so and that's the other thing. Like this movie, it basically just goes back to the spirit of the first 3, maybe the first 4 films. It definitely doesn't go the full comedy route like number 5. So, but of course the performances, I really liked Fiona Dorff. She's really attractive and did really good as Nika. I want to see her in more stuff, and she's kind of sexy too. I'm not gonna lie. And Daniel Basutti, who played her sister in the movie, I saw her in Insidious 2 recently, and to me she's very attractive as well, and I liked her in this movie. I thought all the acting was fine. I mean, it's a Child's Play movie. It's not supposed to be too serious. It's supposed to be for thrills and laughs, and that's what this movie gives you. So yeah, for me, it's 1, 2, 4, and 6. So those are my favorites of the series. I can't wait to buy this. I was lucky enough to see it online. So, but yeah, the bad, they're a little nitpicky. For one, there's one shot in the movie where Nika, who's again a wheelchair bound character, she goes to like look for somebody, and you can tell from the way it's shot. She's only shot from like kind of this angle. From how you see me, but you could tell if I was in a chair or not from how I move around. She was obviously standing up, opening the door. You know, it's not like her leg is like she has bad legs. They don't work at all. So yeah, that's just one little cinematography nitpick and technicality. But then another nitpick. So spoilers. If you don't want to see this part, skip ahead or come back. But for the end credits, stay through the end credits of this movie. The ending, they need to stop sending people away after they deal with Chucky. That's kind of pissing me off. I mean, yes, I know nobody's gonna believe a killer doll, a talking killer doll, but seriously, it just believes it. It makes the ending bitter. I didn't like it when they did it with Miss Barkley. They didn't mention anything about Kyle, and now freaking Nika is being sent away. But I mean, on that front, she is protected too, unless Chucky breaks in the mental institution. But anyway, so yeah, Tiffany, his wife Tiffany makes a cameo, which I was happy about, and sends him to Andy Barclay, which I was even more happy about. That was awesome, and the fact that he was played by Alex Vincent himself. Justin Whalen did an okay job. He got the job done, but I mean, there's nothing better than having the original actor. So, and I love this little scene he had with Chucky. So yeah, I spoiled the cameos, but not what happens necessarily. Like, what happens in the end when you see everything, like how it plays out exactly. It's all like good to me. So yeah, so obviously, yeah, I'm a fan of Curse of Chucky. I can't wait to buy it. I recommend it to any Child's Play fans out there, especially again those who really dug the horror and somewhat comedic elements. So yeah.